Breaking news, Trump just got hit with a major court defeat, and now he is scrambling to save his tariff plan by running to the Supreme Court. Last night, a federal trade court ruled that President Trump broke the law by imposing global tariffs without congressional approval. The court said he overstepped his authority under a law designed for national emergencies, not for remaking global trade. The tariffs were part of his Liberation Day agenda, and they have shaken the global markets for months. But the U.S. Courts of International Trade found that the plan is unconstitutional. Trump's response? He is now preparing to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to step in, possibly by Friday. His administration has filed an appeal and says it will seek an emergency stay to keep the tariffs in place while they fight the ruling. This isn't just a trade dispute. This is about whether a president can bypass Congress and impose global policies by declaring an emergency. If the Supreme Court takes the case, the consequences could be historic. Follow me on Instagram and Substack for the full story and all updates.
We have major breaking news right now. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, has just announced that the United States will begin revoking the visas of Chinese students. The Chinese students that will be impacted include those, according to Rubio, that have connections to the Chinese Communist Party or, quote, study in critical fields. This is the statement that was just issued by Rubio minutes ago on his Twitter. As you can see, it says the U.S. will begin revoking visas of Chinese students who are studying in critical fields. Now, this is very vague, so if you are a Chinese student or you know a Chinese student, spread the word, because a critical field could mean anything from engineering to science to medicine, anything. We don't know what Rubio and the State Department are doing, when they're going to start revoking these visas and ordering the deportation of students from campuses. But this is a significant escalation and could impact thousands of Chinese students currently studying in the United States of America. Spread the word so more people know. I'll have a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Y'all! President Taco just lost his favorite toy and his only economic policy tool, the tariffs. AKA what we really should be calling it, the Trump tax. That is right, folks. A federal court just struck down Trump's Liberation Day taxes on literally everything, ruling that he was overstepping his authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Translation, Trump can't just bypass Congress and slap taxes on the world because he feels like it. Now for context, the IEEPA, long acronym, is a law that's about 50 years old and was intended to allow the president at the time of national emergency, remember that, to have more of a unilateral say over trade. AKA not having to go through Congress to get it approved. This is the logic and the thinking and the law itself that Trump was leaning on to get support for his Trump tax on everything. But the court wasn't buying it. In fact, the ruling itself calls the Trump tax unconstitutional and void, and gives the White House 10 days to undo them. And unsurprisingly, Trump is appealing, so we'll see where this goes. But y'all, in the short term, this, ironically, even though it kind of solves the issue, throws more uncertainty into the mix. Like, yes, on one hand, this is a sign that the volatility maybe, pumping the brakes. But at the same time, that itself is uncertain, which just perpetuates the volatility of the whole situation. But zooming out, y'all, big picture, the smartest businessman in the world just lost his one and only piece of leverage. But y'all, listen, it gets even better. Because this is not only a loss and a blow for Trump, but I also can't help but think about all those corporations that bent the knee to Trump, gave up their values just so they could, be on the other side of the tariffs, get some exceptions from him. And now it's like, you did all that for what? I mean, your reputation is ruined. Y'all are losing money. America is a fucking embarrassment on the world stage, and no one wants to come here anymore, business or pleasure. And at the end of the day, there aren't even any tariffs to be protected from. But hey, it's like we say, you fuck around, you will find out.
Walmart steak and a lot of sketchy people. That is how right-wing influencer by the name of Nicholas Pinto described Trump's cryptocurrency gala dinner that his top cryptocurrency investors got invited to last night. He said it was extremely underwhelming, and he didn't even get to meet the president or get a picture with him. In his address speech, he did come out and speak, but it was pretty much bullshit. And this is coming from somebody who has invested over $360,000 in the Trump cryptocurrency and has spray painted his G-Wagon with Trump and a $sign on it in a nod to the president. He went on to say that him and his father had to go eat after the dinner because the food was so underwhelming, and that pizza or Big Macs would have been a whole lot better. He also went on to say that he was hoping to meet Elon Musk, but he didn't see him there. So I don't know if he was in attendance or not. I would have assumed he would have been, but now that he's made an exit from politics, maybe he's just totally done. But that was the one person he wanted to meet. He didn't get to see him or meet him, and that most of the people that were there were sketchy. Yeah. That could not have been a good dinner. The intent behind that gala was not good at all.
Holy absolute shit, y'all. The most devout Trump cabinet member just completely threw him under the bus. When asked about Donald Trump's shady crypto dinner with 200 of his sketchiest superfans, Press Secretary KK Caroline Leavitt didn't even try to spin it. Instead, she basically said, "You'll never know who was there. I'm not going to tell you because this was a personal dinner. It wasn't a public presidential one." And just like that, she handed every single prosecutor in this country a gift. Because if it's personal, he can't hide behind presidential immunity. Yeah, because that legal shield only protects him from official acts. So if he was trading political favors in exchange for massive amounts of funding, which it's already been reported that that's exactly what he was doing, then this isn't just like morally gray or arguably unethical. It's flat out criminal. And thanks to KK Caroline Leavitt, that means it's fair game. So you know what? Thank you, KK Caroline, for the radical transparency. Let's hope that bust you threw him under has some real speed to it. Now, to cover my bases, I'm not promising that this is gonna be the thing to bring down Trump and his regime. But it is one of those things, and we're in a time where Democrats would be foolish to not jump on this. Donald Trump is a convicted felon, a known con man, and an adjudicated rapist. Becoming president, again, doesn't erase any of that. So y'all, do me a favor with this one. Tag every single Democratic elected representative that you can think of in the comments. I want this to be something that we start seeing on the front lines ASAP. This is a smoking gun, and we have to use it.